And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. There on first down gets 3 up to the 28. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Out of the gun, Newton. They get this out wide to Gaskin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Buffalo. Now Newton on first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Logan. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So the completion there, and CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensively?
Well, the pass rush has to still try and get to him, and especially the guys on the edge, but they're going to go maybe a count slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on him. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it here with Logan. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Throw left side, complete. That's Logan. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 23. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
first down. Logan. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Now Newton. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Newton now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Big completion there on 3rd and short. Keeps their opening drive alive.
Not only alive, but plenty of possibilities now. 1st and goal, and you know me. I'm a big advocate. If you're going to throw the ball, throw it early in the down and distance count.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we're looking at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Gaskin again. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Myles Gaskin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in week 2. This, the second meeting between these two division rivals. You might recall they met earlier in the year. Breida, he'll try the right side. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
On 1st down, here's Breida. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop. This defense for the Dolphins, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
This defense for the Dolphins, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That's on the guard, Cody Ford. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On is the punter, Hawk, as he gets this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And we're in the middle part of the season where each week starts to become a little more important, and especially this, Charles, being a division matchup.
Yeah, you haven't fired the starter's pistol or rang the bell lap like they do in track and field for the sprint to the finish, but you're starting to eye it, aren't you? You got to pile up those wins, put them in the left-hand column, not the L's in the right-hand column.
43 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And that is incomplete. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense in this week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this now a 17-game regular season. Because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, you know, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not really much of an advantage. You might be playing well, now slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, here's Newton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. This is Gaskin on the carry. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action, it's Newton. Rolling to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Waddle there. 3rd down here.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Sanders is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. McKenzie will not return this, and it will be brought out to the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He'll buy some time right. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Breida. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now a give to Breida. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That good for 19 and a 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying. It
certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
On the delay, here's Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
2nd and 6. They go counter with Breida. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Allen. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now a first down throw for Newton. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. A shotgun snap for Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Another try after the first down sack. Newton, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
You definitely won't like to hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's Fuller with a catch. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jason Sanger is on for the field goal. A 46-yard attempt.
Sanders' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They run again with Breida. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. They do go for it. Here's Allen. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. On the handoff, this is Breida. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Running out of the gun here, Breida. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That'll bring up 4th down after back-to-back-to-back 3-yard pickups. Sean McDermott didn't hesitate. They'll go for it on 4th. Singletary, they'll run for it. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Now it's Breida. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's a toss right side for Breida. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll toss this right side to Moss. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2nd and 8. They'll go again here with Moss. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbenogany. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A nice substantial run there by Gaskin, who was the Dolphins' leading rusher in 2020. 584 total yards in just 7 starts and got stronger as the season went on. Not bad for a 7th-round pick in 2019. He was drafted number 234 overall that season.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. This is Breida. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football.
And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
On 2nd and 9, Newton trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Cam Newton now getting his guys ready to go for the 2-point try.
20.
They're going to try and run. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 119 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down. This is Breida on the draw, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Allen off the play fake. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense.
And here's another example on that last play.
Throwing is Allen on third. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A gain of 22. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. From the gun, it's Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defense's side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
To throw again on second down. Newton being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
On first down, it's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Throwing again on second and 10. Newton. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They fake the give. Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. T.J. Logan. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. Sanders on for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Benardrick McKinney able to record his 5th sack of the season. On second down, a run with Breida. And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Into the hands of Sanders. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. On first down, here's Breida. And some space here. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them, as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And now off to the races down the right side. 30, past the 20. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Myles Gaskin, 77 yards. And the Dolphins have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. And he will get out of bounds here to stop the clock, but not a huge pickup there. 6, maybe 7. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. They run with Breida. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Allen now on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Throwing here, Newton. Dancing to his left. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for the Dolphins, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8